I thought we'd do a bit of Memphis Mafia stuff today. I thought we'd review something together. So, let's just get this stuff. So I've tried to message a lot of you to let you know that I'm going live. I'm just warming up my tea. The kids are upstairs. My wife's going away today for, just for one night because it's her best friend's 40th birthday. So they're going to Bath City, Bath, UK, which is where my wife grew up and was born. So I'm going to have the kids when she goes. So I've got about an hour. How are we all going, guys? So I've got about an hour, maybe, yeah, to sort of just do my own thing. Now, because we've been discussing Lamar Fike's book, which I did read Linda's notes. Linda, if you're watching, I have emailed you. We've been reading your notes. I wanted to read a bit more of this book, but I thought we could play a bit of the Lamar Fike, the Memphis Mafia interview, and just review it a bit, just to have a bit of more of a relaxed live stream. I might do a few more questions from Ayisa's book. Ayisa's probably asleep. Hi, Linda. I did remember. And a bit more of this book. So it's a bit of a Memphis Mafia type live stream. Okay, guys? Right. Okay, let's get my tea. Get my tea. I'm hoping, put a bit of milk in it. So I just had some dinner. I had omelette, cheese omelette with bacon. That's what I had. Cheese omelette with bacon. And now I'm having tea. So tonight I will have lamb ribs and pork bellies. That would be what I have. And I did have some grapes. So I'm not strictly carnivore, keto. I'm 90% meat, tiny bit of fruit and veg. Yeah? So I don't want to talk about the diet too much because I know it annoys people. Hi, Denise. So what I've done, just so that we don't overly talk about the diet on the Elvis channel, what I've done, I've changed the name of my diet channel. So if you guys want to discuss anything to do with the diet, I've changed the name so that you guys recognize it. It's quite an easy name. My diet channel is now called, let's just get it on here. Let me blow it up for you. My diet channel, so please subscribe, is now called Elvis Presley Fan on Keto Diet. Elvis Presley Fan on Keto Diet. Okay, so jump over, subscribe to it. And I will be doing Elvis Presley Fan on Keto Diet. So if you're interested in getting healthy, losing weight and all that kind of stuff, I'll be doing some live streams on there, but not many, because I'll probably only be doing like one a week on there. If it's all to do with losing weight, not being type 2 diabetic, and coming off meds and regaining your energy and becoming healthy again and feeling young again. That is what that diet did for me. Okay, guys? Anyway, let's talk about... let's just switch it over back to where we were. So we are going to review some of this video, and then we're going to read some of Lamar's book. Now, I was told that Lamar, this book was written after Lamar Fike died, and someone told me that Lamar died from cancer, which is horrific. So I'm still learning about the Memphis Mafia, guys. I've still got a lot more to learn. I had a really good message from Chris, so I want to read his message out. Chris could be a girl. Yeah, Chris, I think, is a girl, actually. Hi, Tony. How we going? How we going? So I got an hour before my kids attack me. So I want to read this message. Now, Tony, you just joined us. We will be doing some quizzy type stuff. But first, we're going to review a bit of the Memphis Mafia on... I'm watching it there, but we're going to show it on my phone. And that's it. So, Chris, so you know, I've just told these guys, I've changed the name of my diet channel. So Tony, just so you know, my diet channel has a different name now so that you guys know it's me. It's now called Elvis Presley Fan on Keto. Elvis Presley Fan on Keto Diet. That is the name of my diet channel, not this channel. We are still defending Elvis Presley here. The name here has stayed the same, okay? Right, okay, let's have a look. So, let's go back to it. Right, so I thought you was Tony, I thought you wasn't on Facebook anymore. Tony, are you still on Facebook? Yeah, I don't think Tony's on Facebook. Tony, are you on Facebook anymore? I'm not sure if you are, right, so Chris sent me a really good comment. I thought I want to read it out. It's too good. It's concerning Billy and Joe, obviously, Billy, Elvis's cousin, and it's concerning the Memphis Mafia, yeah, Lamar Fike, people like that. So I've always said it, guys. Some of the Memphis Mafia, I don't like the way they talk about Elvis. Just don't like it. Lamar Fike definitely is one that has said things I don't think he should have said. Even they've all said the odd thing that they shouldn't really have said, haven't they, guys? But so I'm sort of concentrating a bit more on Lamar at the moment. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought, yeah, Tony's on Instagram. So now the thing about Lamar is I know that he knew Elvis way back in the 50s. I've been reading about him. All right, my son's just asked me for some money. And I've been reading about Lamar, and he somehow managed to get quite friendly with Elvis and Gladys when in the 50s. So that's how they initially met. I'm just sending my son a couple of quid for lunch, right? And then the friendship blossomed from there. Now Elvis did a lot for Lamar. So look, Elvis did a lot for Lamar. So some of the things Lamar said, naughty, should not have said them. He said things that embarrass Elvis, in my opinion. I don't like the way that Lamar talks about Elvis and young girls. I just don't like it. I think there's no need for it. He also talks about Elvis's weight in a derogatory way. He also talks about Elvis's drug, or should I say prescribed pill taking, in a way that I don't like. So I'm not a big fan of Lamar, but I know many of you have said Lamar was like the clown, the jester, that probably took a bit of flack as well. But I just don't know, these friends, you know, they're supposed to be friends. Elvis did so much for them. He literally paid for everything, and cars, you know, horses, motorbikes, some of them got homes, and he paid for all their expenses. Anything they needed was paid for. So when I see these negative things said, I just don't like it. Don't like it. So anyway, let's just start playing this interview. It should be the last thing on my... Yeah, here we go.
The first time.
Right. Let's see. I want to get to the bit where Lamar's in it.
Life on the road.
Right, I'm only playing a bit of this because it's got some music in it. Right, hang on.
We knew what made him tick.
Here we go.
And with
Right,
us, he didn't have to do it.
So,
And with us, we all could be what we. Elvis did not make friends easy. He just didn't love. Touring schedule. Unique movies kept.
So I just want to say that I don't believe, I'm not going to do loads of this because it's got too much music in it and YouTube will just copyright me. But I definitely have a problem with Lamar Fike. Even Joe has said things that I don't think he should have said. We know about the racquetball problem, yeah. But Lamar Fike has definitely said many things that he shouldn't have said. But it's not just that. The problem I got with Lamar is that you've got this person that Elvis literally treated like a brother, yeah? But then you look at Lamar's actions with his life after Elvis died, and quite a few interviews where he's quite negative about his so-called best friend. Remember, Lamar is proud to say that he was very close to Gladys. Now, the Memphis Mafia guys, look, come on, let's be honest, to the ladies watching now, the Memphis Mafia were not the best looking guys, were they? I know that Jerry Schilling, pretty handsome guy, but they weren't the best looking guys. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm talking down about people if they're not brilliant looking. But the point is this: when they were around Elvis, the women swooned. The women swooned around Elvis. Elvis attracted the good-looking girls when Elvis was in his 20s and 30s, yeah? So then you've got the Memphis Mafia taking advantage of the fact that because Elvis isn't going to go with 30, 40, 50, 100 girls, yeah? So I think that the Memphis Mafia massively used Elvis to be around beautiful women that probably would not have looked at them if they hadn't have been Elvis's bodyguards. Do we agree there, guys? Would the Memphis Mafia, you know, Lamar Fike, Joe Esposito, all of them, yeah? Would they have got the really good-looking women if it wasn't for Elvis? I know that Joe Esposito, he had some very beautiful girlfriends. Come on, guys. I don't want to sound shallow, but come on. Joe Esposito just doesn't have the looks to get a beautiful, stunning girl, and which he did. They all took advantage of Elvis, yeah? Whether it be to get nice things, to have money given to them for different things they wanted to buy, for their wives, for their girlfriends, for a car, for a horse, for a motorbike, just to live like celebrities. Even when he was making his movies, they would get roles on his movies, wouldn't they? Like small bit roles. Elvis did so much for these guys, so much, yeah. And unfortunately, when he passed, they double-crossed him and made books and did interviews and said things that they should never have said and never have done. And you know, it's one thing to just sit in front of an interviewer that is, you know, millions of people are going to watch that interview, yeah. It's another thing to slag off your mate, yeah. Remember, Elvis was their mate, not just an employer. Elvis did so much for them, so much, yeah. And so really, based on what we know, the research that we've done, they shouldn't have said one negative thing about Elvis, not one thing, because they owed him. They owed him. So when we listen to this and I hear the odd little comment here and there, I'm like, he didn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve it. I also think if Elvis was here to defend himself, he'd shout at all of them. He would shout at all of them, yeah, and tell them all off. They did betray him, and not just in the book Elvis, What Happened, with Red West, Sonny West, and Dave Hepburn, but other members of the Memphis Mafia. And do you know what? Even Jerry Schilling, who is one of the more popular ones, he's too friendly with Priscilla and has been since the 60s. I am unsure about what has gone on between Jerry and Priscilla. I'm not just talking about relationship-wise. I'm talking about money. Because once Priscilla had all power with Gracelands and Elvis Presley Enterprises, it was very much in Jerry's interest to be best friends with Priscilla, to be best friends with Lisa. Now, we all know that Jerry was very close to Lisa. Lisa really liked Jerry and really trusted Jerry. But when we put into the mix money, power, getting Priscilla's permission to do things, because Priscilla gave power, gave permission for everything. This is whilst she was the executor on behalf of Lisa, and she had almighty power. Everything went through Priscilla. So it was very much in many of the Memphis Mafia members' interest to keep Priscilla happy So I worry, guys. I worry what went on secretly behind the scenes with Priscilla and the Memphis Mafia members. And some say things were even going on secretly behind Elvis's back with the Memphis Mafia, with Priscilla, with Colonel Tom Parker. Yeah, even when Elvis was alive. So I worry, guys. I worry.
Little strained.
So, so this is when it gets a bit dicey. I don't like what they say, but I'm going to play it because I want to critique it and review it, and I want to criticize what they say. I'm a bit worried about playing this because it gets copyrighted, but let's just go with it and see how it goes.
First time he met Priscilla, I happened to be at the house that evening when she was introduced to him. And when she walked in the door, I mean, very pretty young lady, but I didn't know how old she was at the time. And I figured she was about 16, but at the time she was 14. I find out later.
It just scared me to the point where I couldn't even breathe. It was just, you know, she was just turned 14 and kind of uneasy. You know, I told him, I told him one night, I think we're all going to die. And he said, what do you mean? I said, they catch you with this girl. I said, it's over with. I said, we're just going to have to just, you know, maybe drink poison or something here. I said, they're going to, our life is over with. Well, they spent a lot of time in the bedroom, but I don't know what kind of physical relationships they had. According to what she says, nothing happened. But
Right, so did you hear the ending there? He says, according to what she says, nothing happened. Yeah? So he talks about Priscilla's age. Now, remember, in the 1950s, if you're a rock and roll star, you have got tens of thousands of teenagers chasing you around. Elvis even had a thing outside the German house in Bad Nauheim where there was a certain time you could come for autographs. And so the fact that teenagers wanted to talk to the rock and roll star Elvis was completely normal. Now, yeah, Elvis meets Priscilla when she's 14. I don't know if she had just turned 14. That's Lamar's words. But the first thing I say is, why is he even saying it? Why does her age even get mentioned? It's obvious it's going to have negative connotations. This is a friend. This is a friend, yeah? This is someone that Elvis looked after for decades, yeah? His mate who's dead, yeah? And he is talking about Elvis as if he's a paedophile. And then he then goes on to say, oh, I don't know what went on in the bedroom. Well, why would he? Why would he know what went on in the bedroom? He didn't. Just because he was there at the house, well, actually, was he at the house? I don't know. Just because he knew about the fact that Elvis had become friends with Priscilla for, you know, a brief time in Germany, doesn't mean that he knows anything sexually happened. So he's calling Elvis a paedophile indirectly, Elvis's friend, but then he goes on to say, oh, I don't know what happened. She says nothing happened. Yeah? So he should be ashamed of himself that he's even having this public conversation. This interview, this particular program went around the world and it's been going around the world ever since. So for decades, it's done a lot of damage. We're talking serious damage to Elvis's image and reputation, and in the big picture, his legacy. So I'm really upset, Lamar Fike. I'm so upset that he is talking that way about Elvis, his friend, so-called friend of his mother. Yeah. So no one's ever going to convince me to like Lamar Fike. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how well they got on. I don't care how long he knew him for, whether it was in the 50s or if he was close to Gladys or Vernon. I'm disgusted by that. Shame on you. Tony, you got it. Shame on you. I play this to expose how disgusting that man has been towards his friend Elvis Presley. And I play it to defend Elvis. To defend Elvis. It's out of order. And no wonder Lisa, Elvis's beautiful daughter, couldn't stand the Memphis Mafia. Now, I don't want to tar the brush with all of them, but I will say this. Many of the Memphis Mafia said things they should never have said. Yeah. And even some of the popular ones. So you have to be careful, yeah? Now, I've been told, where's the book? I think it was Linda sent me this book. This book, I've been told that in this book is some pretty disgusting things about Elvis. Yeah? Twisted lies, exaggerated truths. I'm pretty sure it was Linda that sent me that. And there's another book, I don't know if I can see it here. There's another book that I've been told this book has a few things in it that it shouldn't have. Am I right, guys? Has anyone read this book? The Last Train to Memphis. So, you know, bit by bit, we're going to go through these, but whoa. So let's just keep going so we can discredit Lamar Fike a little bit more.
Isn't that always the case?
Let me go past the music. I've got to go past the music, guys.
By the time he married her, it was getting old.
It's not supposition.
Let me just hear the bit of, I think it says Priscilla left Elvis for her karate instructor. I just want to hear that.
After the wedding, she would have to put up with Elvis's numerous affairs and compete with the guys for his affection. Exasperated by him and by them, she finally left Elvis for her karate instructor.
Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear that? She would have to eventually leave Elvis for his numerous affairs. Yeah? She eventually left him for the karate instructor in 19... And we know that she secretly saw Mike Stone for a year. Around 1971, could have been end of 1970. No mention of the fact that in 68, 10 months after they married, she was having sex with the dance teacher, Steve Peck. Yeah? And this is months after Lisa Marie was born. But the way that is worded, don't forget, the Memphis Mafia were involved in the making of this biography documentary, call it what you want. Again, Priscilla has a say in this. This is what I'm trying to say, where Priscilla got so much power, yeah, that everything had to go through Priscilla. So if you wanted to make something like this, if you wanted to talk about Elvis and Priscilla, it better be the right things, or Priscilla will not allow it to happen. I keep saying this. Priscilla had all of the Memphis Mafia in her pocket because they needed her, because she had the power to pay. Priscilla was the money, the cash cow. So everything had to be agreed with Priscilla. So this is why it says, oh, poor Priscilla. Elvis was unfaithful to her with numerous affairs, and then poor Priscilla had to leave him and go off with her karate instructor when she was seeing her karate instructor nearly 2 years after she'd been unfaithful already with Steve Peck, the dance instructor. So can you see how unfair this all is? This is why we're called Defending Elvis, yeah? Because that is a pack of lies. The truth is, Elvis was the victim. Elvis was the victim. He does the right thing. He marries her. He gets her pregnant. They have a baby. Yeah? He fulfills every promise that he ever said he would do under pressure, almost forced to marry her, some people think. He marries her and she's unfaithful. But now here we are in this documentary. It's Elvis's fault. Oh, Elvis had numerous affairs. Poor Priscilla had to leave Elvis and run off with a karate instructor, who, by the way, was a karate champion, a world famous karate champion. And because Elvis was highly into the karate world was massive in Elvis's life. I would say after singing was his next passion. Yeah. So for Priscilla to run off with a person who was a champion, a well-known champion in the karate world, that is the most humiliating person she ever could have picked. And remember, it's Elvis. A public wedding, a public birth of Lisa Marie, a public engagement. Everything was public. All the tabloids, magazines, TV news clips around the world, every country. So when she decides to run off with Mike Stone, the karate champion, you would have had headlines saying, Priscilla leaves Elvis for karate champion Mike Stone. How humiliating, how disgusting was that for poor Elvis? Why did Elvis deserve that after the way that he had been so kind and generous to Priscilla, and the way that he transformed Priscilla's life from a normal life to the life of a celebrity? This magnificent life that Elvis gave Priscilla. And Elvis is blamed. Elvis is blamed when during the marriage between 1966, when they got engaged, December, to March 68, Elvis was the faithful one. The faithful one. After he caught her being unfaithful, then yeah, Elvis went back to his old ways. So very unfair, guys. So I have to break into it, otherwise YouTube will get a signal and it'll be like, oh no, block it. So guys, what do you think, guys? Let me just ask you, who do you think are the members of the Memphis Mafia that you feel were okay to Elvis? Just give me your honest opinions on the different names. You know, that's Sonny West there. What do you think, guys? Anyone just give me any comment you have to do with any members of the Memphis Mafia? I'm interested to know just the general feel that you guys have. And then we're going to start reading some stuff. Go ahead, guys. Let me just grab a book. I want to get... We're gonna do this one. This is the Lamar Fike book. It's questions and answers. I'm saving the quiz for when Ayisa comes on, probably tomorrow. So I'll save that for Ayisa. Right. So jealous. All of them. Debbie, Denise, they took advantage. Linda, yeah, she agrees. Everyone's agreeing. Larry Geller and Charlie were the best. The only thing, Tony, can I just say about Charlie? Because I like Charlie. Yeah, we've done some stuff on him recently, haven't we? He is a Priscilla fan. Do we agree that Charlie is a Priscilla fan? I know that Charlie has spoke really well of Elvis, speaks about his medical problems in a very honest way. I think many of you disagree with this bone cancer thing. A lot of you think that the bone cancer thing isn't true. But do you guys think Charlie was a Priscilla fan? Yeah, I'm asking you that. Denise says they're all backstabbers. Yeah, I mean, Billy Smith, I'm a big fan of Billy and Joe, but even Billy has said things really that didn't need to be said. But I say that in a kind way because I like Billy Joe, but I think they all made mistakes. Because the interview that I watched with Charlie, yeah, he was very good. He said he was very kind about Elvis, but he did praise Priscilla. He did say, oh, you know, it's sad what they went through. It's sad how they split up. Yeah, it's sad what Priscilla went through. So it made me think, did Priscilla give you permission for that documentary, that biography, that interview? Yeah, I always wonder whenever I watch anything or read anything or see any interviews on TV, whatever it is, I always think, well, if it was before 2022, yeah, I always think you had to get permission from Priscilla or from Elvis Presley Enterprises, yeah, and that always makes me wonder. Yeah, you know, who knows? Maybe secretly they didn't like Priscilla. Maybe secretly that they only said nice things about Priscilla because they want to get paid. They want to get permission. You know, she was the boss. You're not going to take away the fact that she had all power. I'm sure that I know they sold 85% of Graceland, of EPE to EPE, yeah, to the Bill Silliman, whatever his name is, yeah. But I still think everything went through Priscilla. I really believe that. It's not the case now. I think now they don't care. I think Elvis Presley Enterprises now don't give a damn about Priscilla. Yeah. I think Riley does. I think Riley's trying to keep Priscilla happy. I've noticed a few things lately where Riley is trying to come across that she's okay with Priscilla, but I still think that's a bit of a public face. So, you know, I get mixed messages from Riley, from Priscilla, even from Jerry Schilling. I'm a bit unsure about everything. I don't really know who to trust. Yeah, the person I do fully trust is Lisa Marie. I fully trust everything I've read, everything we've read. I really believe Lisa. We still demand justice for Lisa against the sexual abuse from Michael Edwards. I know it's alleged, but we believe her. It's our opinions for entertainment purposes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish up this by reading some of this. Now, this book was given to me by Linda, who has disappeared. Linda, where are you? Linda is normally on here every day. Linda, I hope we haven't upset you. Remember, we are allowed to agree to disagree, because I know that sometimes, guys, sometimes we have different opinions. I always say, guys, we can have different opinions. We don't have to fall out. So I really hope that Linda hasn't gone because we've disagreed on something. Linda, if we've disagreed on anything, I apologize. I definitely didn't mean to upset you, but Linda was one of our valued people that we loved being here. So I'm not sure where Linda's gone. Yeah, but Linda, come back wherever you are. We loved you. Right. So this is one of the books Linda sent me. She sent it me with her notes. I've already read them. So I'd read them this morning. And so it's all questions and answers. It's a conversation, I think, that went on. I'm not sure what year this happened. Let me see. Does it show a year that the book came out? I can't see a year, guys, but Elvis, it's called Elvis, the Truth, the Myth and Beyond, an intimate conversation with Lamar Fike. And it literally is a conversation that's been written down. And this was released after Lamar died. I think Lamar got cancer. Yeah, so Tony says Riley is trying to keep chill from suing her again. Yeah, I do think there's a game, Tony, that's Riley's trying to put a public face on that everything is fine between her and Priscilla, but I'm not convinced. I agree, we don't know who to believe or trust except for E and L. Yeah, for Elvis and Lisa. Yeah, it is very, it's a bit of a mixed mess, isn't it? We don't really know what to think. Charlie loved their marriage and thought it was the best and so sad about the breakup. Yeah, but Elizabeth, that comment, it's quite a big deal to me. Charlie loved their marriage and thought it was the best and so sad about the breakup. I listened to him saying that, yeah? But how can it be that way? Unless it was kept a secret from Charlie. We know that when Priscilla first moved over to America, to Graceland, Elvis lived as a single man. Elvis didn't properly get with Priscilla until around 1966. Before then, he classed himself as a single man, and Priscilla knew it. Yeah. Now, they finally get engaged in 66 in December. Then they get married. Obviously, she gets pregnant. We know about her being unfaithful with Steve Peck, the dance instructor. Then we know they had a bit of a fake marriage. We know that Elvis didn't want to touch her because she'd been unfaithful. They have a bit of a pretend marriage for 18 months. And then she secretly sees Mike Stone, the karate champion, for a year before it all comes out. Mike Stone is married to Frances Stone. Frances Stone is pregnant and she's got a small girl, right? So you've just said to me, Elizabeth, and you're repeating what you've watched in the interview, yeah? Elizabeth just said to me, Charlie loved their marriage and thought it was the best, so sad about the breakup. So did you get, I've just explained to you about Steve Peck, the dance guy, and Mike Stone, the karate champion. But then Charlie Hodges' words were that he was upset about the breakup of the marriage. You get it? Do you see what, Elizabeth, do you understand what I'm trying to say? It doesn't make sense. So it doesn't add up, because Charlie would have known. Charlie would have known what was going on. No, Elizabeth, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. The only thing that does make sense to me as a fan at home is that Charlie had to say nice things about Priscilla so that he was allowed to do the documentary, to do the biography, the interview, call it what you want. This is what I'm trying to say, is that we don't really know what the Memphis Mafia really felt about Priscilla, because Priscilla was paying them, giving them permission, yeah, allowing them to earn money, allowing them to get their commissions on the books, allowing them to charge for interviews. Because I'm sure Priscilla would have had a cut, would have had a percentage of all of their incomes. So get it, guys? We're all trying to keep Priscilla happy for 40 odd years. Before the book came out, I think the book is 39 years ago, isn't it? The book Elvis and Me is 39 years ago, yeah? Well, Priscilla took over before this book came out. This book is 1985. Well, Priscilla was giving interviews as the owner of Gracelands in 1980. I think even 19, no, I'm going to play it, guys. Even in 1978, I'm going to play it. I think we've already played it, but I'm going to play it again because we've got some time here. I think Priscilla, even in 1978, let me get it up, guys, so I put it on my channel, was talking about Elvis as the owner. She was talking as the owner. Right, are we ready, guys? Let's play it. I know I've already played this, but I want to play it again. The point of what I'm trying to say to you guys, Team Elvis, is that we don't know if anything the Memphis Mafia, their views on Priscilla, we don't know if they're true, because someone's twisting their arm with money, with power, with permission. Yeah? Let's play it. It's not that long. There's a bit of an introduction from Louis, that dodgy guy Louis that upsets everyone. Right, are we ready? Guys, it's Louis at Defending Elvis Presley. I think you'll find this interview from 1978 with Priscilla Presley quite interesting. Rona Barrett digging for some dirt. The reason we defend Elvis Presley is because Priscilla Presley has done some serious wrongdoing, in my opinion, to Elvis Presley and his bloodline. Let's watch the interview.
Seeing all the things that happened this past year, what was your reaction to it? It hurts. I knew it would happen. I could see it coming. The day that he died, it was just the beginning. And it's been a lot of exploitation. And I think what hurts mostly is the people that were very close. And again, it's human nature and you try to justify it, but it still hurts. Could you tell me what you were thinking not long ago that day in Vegas when you went for the unveiling of Elvis's statue? It was a touching moment. It was sitting on stage, knowing what we were doing there. It didn't seem real. Looking out at the audience, seeing all the people there, and having them play his music. I can't even put it in words. It wasn't right. It was beautiful that they were presenting this statue, but it didn't feel right. Elvis wasn't there. Do you get any special feelings if you turn on your car radio or turn on your house radio and hear Elvis's music? Oh, absolutely. Because I know what was going on during all the songs that were being recorded at the time. What was said, what the feeling was toward the song, if he should do the song. So the memory of what was happening during that time comes up. And it's difficult. It's difficult listening to the records. It's difficult. Your mind starts to wonder. It starts to go back. And again, you try to think, well, that's not Elvis. But you can't escape it. I'm curious to know, did Elvis at any time sit and discuss with you his performances? Sure. Oh, yeah. There was some he loved, some he hated, some he didn't want to do, some he had fun with, but Elvis was a perfectionist. If a performance didn't go like he wanted it, he'd be upset for days over it. Could he accept criticism? Not really, no. If it came from him, yes. I think he always knew what he did. Did all of you hide, let's say, reviews? Yes. You hid reviews from him? Absolutely. Did he not ask any of you at any time? Did anybody say anything about me? Yeah, what would you say to him? They were great. Wonderful reviews. They were, they were just great. Well, they weren't the best, but hey, it's okay. Why did Elvis surround himself with what we affectionately term the Memphis Mafia?
Right, I'll play the second half as well. She's obviously going to talk about the Memphis Mafia. But guys, this is when I see things like this. This is 1978, yeah? So she's getting close to taking over almighty power. She's not there yet, is she? Yeah. Is that a comment from Chris? Chris, I was gonna read out your comment, Chris. You don't have to argue about the truth. It eventually proves itself. In my opinion, Priscilla over the years has filed NDAs on people that she has dealt with, a non-disclosure agreement. Chris, I was going to read out your comment on the Memphis Mafia. Do you mind me reading it while you're here? Because I quite liked it. Chris gave me a comment. Let's have a look. Let me see if I can find it. Let's have a look. So let me get your comment up, Chris. Are you here, Chris? Can I read it? Let's find it. I got to find it. I liked Chris's comment. I thought it was really good. I just got to find the bloody thing. All right, thank you. Right, it was the one to do with the Memphis Mafia. So I want to get the right one. It was quite a long one. Right, it's a long comment, guys, but I liked it. Now, obviously, Chris is commenting on my Billy and Joe Smith video. I think the general gist of my Billy and Joe Smith video is I support Billy and Joe. I'm unhappy what they're going through with their Facebook page at EFM, but I was also saying that I think enough has been said about this book. Enough has been said about this book. I think it's time to put this book down. Just my opinion. Yeah, I'm not interested in talking about that book, right? So no offense to the people that believe it, because I think you have the right to believe what you decide to believe. I'm not trying to tell you that it's true or not. I'm saying it's your right to make your own decision on that book. But I personally think that that book is causing a lot of drama in the Elvis world. Because of it, I think it's doing a bit of harm. It's got so silly now with this book and with certain Facebook pages that I think this book is a problem. I don't want to sway you guys on if it's true or not. You make your own minds up. And I am a fan of Joe's channel. I am a fan of Rare Elvis Photos. So it's awkward for me because I like Joe since he comes on our program. I have a lot of respect for Joe. I think Joe has a fantastic channel, but I do think it's time to put this book down. I really do, guys. No offense to anyone. That's just how I feel. But anyway, so that was the whole point of this video live stream that we did. So this is Chris's comment, okay? Louis, thank you for being so respectful to the Smiths and to Elvis. There were questions about Lamar, but I'm not sure where. As someone who was there at the time, my only interest is the truth about Elvis. Chris, you say you were there at the time, yeah? Yeah, Chris, I agree. The book that book needs to be left alone. That's just my opinion from defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. Our channel. I just think we have to move on, guys. It's upsetting too many people. Have to move on. That's my opinion. Right, but I'm not telling people what to do, guys. If you want to believe it, if you want to support the book, that's completely your right. So please don't be offended. I know that there's a lot of people that do believe it, so I don't want to disrespect you guys. But for the people that don't want to believe it, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Sorry, guys. No offense to Joe either, because I love Joe's channel. Rare Elvis Photos is a fantastic channel. So I'm not dissing Joe's channel. I think his channel is great. Right, let me just carry on reading. As someone who was there at the time, Chris, so were you there? Chris, Chris, were you there? When you say there at the time, do you mean, are you from Memphis? Or do you mean that you were alive during that period? Is that what you're saying? Right. So, I mean, you guys, you know that I don't believe it. You know I don't, but I don't want to disrespect people. Right. Okay. As for someone who was there at the time, my only interest is that the truth about Elvis is out there. Billy and Joe want to foil rumors and make sure the truth is out there, as they are family. When Elvis bought the house on Alderman Drive, Gladys would be very friendly and sometimes would invite people to be hospitable, who she didn't even know and who would stop by. And that was common in the South, where they came in. So Lamar was a loner, right? This is the interesting bit that Chris says. Lamar was a loner. Let's have a look. Who invited himself into the house via Gladys. He ended up spending all his time there and would not go away. Gladys would invite him to eat with them, and he worked his way into the family because he didn't seem to have a family, I guess. Now, I don't know if this is true, guys. I'm reading Chris's comments. I don't know much about Lamar. Honestly, I just don't. I've never put time into learning about Lamar. I do know that the things that Lamar has said are disgusting. The things that Lamar has said about Elvis are shameful. Shameful. Shame on that man for the things that he said about Elvis, okay? Especially because Elvis was so nice to him. Gladys, let's have a look. He didn't seem to have a family, I guess. He is the least favorite of mine. I have to agree with that, Chris, in the Memphis Mafia, because he is ultra critical of Elvis. I fully agree with that. Fully agree with that. He comes off as a know-it-all. I agree. Gladys particularly felt sorry for him. He was very heavy, yet he's the one who would always criticize Elvis about being overweight. Yes, this is true. This great comment, Chris. He hung around the Presley's home and listened to whatever was going on, and he ended up sharing everything in his book. I have to admit that I didn't read it, but because of his own critical attitude, when he himself couldn't live up to his own expectations of what Elvis should do, he says the nastiest things about Elvis in every Memphis Mafia video. Yes, so true. That's why I like this comment, Chris, because it's so on it. Rather than talk about how kind Elvis and his family were to him, come on, guys, get a round of applause for this. I want to get it right, guys. Elvis took care of him through the divorces. All right, so I don't know, Lamar, how many divorces did he have? I don't know, Chris. Chris, we really appreciate this comment. Right. It's unfortunately, we do have to be negative to defend Elvis because so many bad things have happened to him. So we come across as quite negative, but I tell you not, we love Elvis, but we want to defend him. We want to defend him. Right. Hello, mate. Just turn it down. Yeah, I can make you a sandwich. Do you want to make a sandwich? Right. Let me just blah blah blah. Where is it? Right. Okay. I'll quickly put this on. And then I'll make his sandwich and I'm going to come back, carry on reading that. Okay, guys? Yeah, I know, mate. Right. Right, let me carry on playing this, and I'll make sound, and I'm going to carry on reading that comment when I come back. Okay, guys? Right.
Hide, let's say, reviews. Yes. You hid reviews from him. Absolutely. Did he not ask any of you at any time? Did anybody say anything about me? What'd you say to him? Wonderful reviews. They were, they were just great. Well, they weren't the best, but hey, it's okay. Why did Elvis surround himself with what we affectionately term the Memphis Mafia, the boys who constantly, I believe, lived with you and him what appeared to be morning, noon, and night? He was comfortable. He was comfortable. He was secure. He knew everyone. They knew him. He was able to do what he wanted, when he wanted. Everyone understood. He could throw his temper tantrums. No one would condemn him. He was at ease. He was around people that were with him for a long period of time. Where most people have friends and may see them throughout a lifetime, here and there. Elvis liked his friends with him because then you can share and you can do and be who you want. He loved that. He loved having his family and friends around him. Priscilla, was he not at ease meeting new people? No, he wasn't. He wasn't comfortable having someone that he didn't know very well come in. If you had a problem, could you sit with Elvis? Would he take the time to listen to what was aching you? And could he comfort you? I very rarely went to him with any problems. It's a very strange relationship. It was a love, but I never wanted to upset him because he took it so hard. If I were to come to him with a problem, it would hurt him deeply. So I worked it out myself. That must have been very tough on you. It was tough. But you make it, and you're able to weigh what you want most. Elvis's happiness meant a lot to me. Did Elvis change when Lisa was born? The father image came out in him like I can't tell you. I mean, I just never thought that when you see him on stage and you see him with a baby and through her life, how he handled it was beautiful. If there's just one thing that you would like Lisa to remember most about Elvis, what would that be? Oh, gee, so many things. I think his humbleness toward people.
What did you think of it, guys? What was going on in 1978 in Priscilla Presley's mind? Please leave some comments and let us know what you think was happening in 1978 that led to the book Elvis and Me. Thanks, guys. Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth.
So, right. So I quickly made my boy a little sandwich. I'll tell you what, when I watched the last 3 minutes of that interview, all I think is that her mind is like clicking, where it's making plans to get Elvis's money, to make herself look like the victim, that Elvis was the bad guy. And eventually, even though this is near enough 1980, there's a cunning plan, isn't there, guys? A cunning plan. And this is the plan. Let's brainwash the world with this book of lies. And her plan worked. That's the unfortunate thing is you got 40 years of lies in that book, and it worked. And it didn't just work with the fans. It also worked with the public and the news companies, the TV companies, the interviewers. It's one of those most successful cons in history, this book. One of the most successful cons in history. It's unbelievable that Priscilla has been able to do so much damage and harm Elvis's image and reputation so badly, all because she could invent a book that it's just her point of view, that Elvis had no say in, that Elvis cannot defend himself. And she's got away with it, guys. It's, you know, now in 2022, they've squeezed her out, but the damage is done. The damage is done. Look at the harm done to poor Lisa Marie, and now even possibly to Riley. So let me read the rest of that comment, guys. So it's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking that Priscilla has been able to do so much damage. Heartbreaking. She literally has turned the world against Elvis. Yes, people love his music and his movies and his personality, but the way they speak about Elvis is disgusting. Elvis has had his image and reputation ruined, and it all stems from this book, Elvis and Me, and from the Memphis Mafia. Some of them, their disgusting portrayal of Elvis, and that includes Lamar Fike, who we're talking about now. Yeah, so let me carry on reading this. He should say the nastiest things about Elvis in every Memphis Mafia video, rather than talk about how kind Elvis and his family were to him. Elvis took care of him through the divorces, etc. It is so hurtful to his fans, and the Memphis Mafia would turn on Elvis in the end and hurt Elvis to the core. The way they did, I can't imagine how hurtful that would have been to Elvis, who gave them so much. They're critical of the pay they received, but Elvis bought their homes, their cars, their horses, their motorcycles, and they never paid any expenses when they were with him. They got a salary as well. The Memphis Mafia book was coming out. We all know about that. The Betrayal book from Red West, Sonny West, and Dave Hebler. I think Chris just mentioned it just now. I definitely see that book as a betrayal. I also think that it ruined all three of their lives. I think the amount of hate that those three men got for writing that book, because the Elvis fans love Elvis so much, I think that even Dave Hebler is still getting it to this day. And Dave Hebler will not admit wrongdoing. He will not say sorry. He will not show regret. It's just crazy. Dave Hebler, if you ever watched my show, please apologize. Please show regret. I say the same to Mike Stone. At least say sorry and show regret. These people are so stubborn. I don't hate these people, but please show regret and say sorry. Even Priscilla, please say sorry and show regret. Your daughter was abused whilst you were in charge, Priscilla, at the hands of Priscilla and Michael Edwards. Lisa Marie was abused, allegedly, for entertainment purposes. I have to say it. My opinion, I have to say it. We believe Lisa. Come on, say sorry, show regret. Priscilla is parading around the world like a superstar, like Elvis Presley, when she knows that we know, the fans, that she was abused by her boyfriend for years as a child. It's crazy. The whole thing is crazy. This is why we defend Elvis, because everything has been turned on its head. People tell me off and tell Team Elvis off for defending Elvis. Come on. Do we really need a reason to defend Elvis after reading a book like this? Do we really need to be told off that our name is called Defending Elvis and the Bloodline, when we know about this, that this went on whilst Priscilla was the parent in charge of Lisa? This went on by Priscilla's boyfriend. Come on, anyone that says to me that Elvis doesn't need defending, Elvis and the Bloodline, you must be bonkers. You must be bonkers. You have to remove your blinkers and see the truth. Anyway, so the Memphis Mafia book was coming out, and remember, it came out in '77, a few weeks before Elvis died. It did some serious damage. This book truly upset Elvis to his core, but he was still forgiving to Red West on the phone call. As horrible as that book was, and as cruel as it was, those men, because they were bitter and angry and greedy for money, and that book came out at the worst time, because at the time that book came out, Priscilla was hammering Elvis for another divorce settlement. placing a massive debt on Graceland's so that Priscilla could get her installment of money from Elvis, because Elvis couldn't afford to pay Priscilla for the second divorce settlement that she said would never happen. She broke her promise. Same with taking back the Presley name. She broke her promise, took it back anyway. So Priscilla Presley, who had taken all of Elvis's money, is now hammering Elvis for more money. In 1977, it's still going on. Elvis couldn't afford to pay her, so they placed this debt on Graceland's and then come up with this installment plan. Elvis is forced to sell his pre-1973, what's it called? All the rights to his records pre-1973, his recording rights, yeah, to try and find money to pay Priscilla, who was going for the jugular with her lawyers. She wanted massive amount of money and spousal payments, and she wanted a percentage of the copyrights. This is all going on. Then the Memphis Mafia are releasing the book Elvis, What Happened, at the same time, and Elvis is really sick, chronically sick, over medicated. His whole body has let him down. Elvis doesn't know which way to turn because he's in serious pain, can't sleep, can't go to the toilet properly, God rest his soul, in unbearable pain, discomfort. And this is all going on in 1977. It's just crazy. The whole thing's crazy. And then why did Elvis run out of money? And when he was dead, when Elvis died, why had the money run out? Priscilla had took it all. Priscilla had took it all. It makes no sense, does it, guys? Priscilla thinks she saved Graceland, and which is a lie. Priscilla says that she's the reason the Living Museum happened at Graceland, that it was her idea, which is another lie. She takes full credit for saving Graceland, opening the Living Museum, which is a lie, yeah, because it was already being planned. Graceland was never going to get sold off because Memphis City were going to have it. Memphis City were going to make sure Graceland was opened as a living museum, yeah? So she stands there on her podium boasting about saving Graceland, opening the museum. By the way, she didn't even attend the opening day. Priscilla didn't even attend the opening day of Graceland. Come on. Yes, she launched it to the press because she wanted her moment of fame, her spotlight moment, because Priscilla craves attention. But the opening day of Graceland, when the public came in, she wasn't even there. She was probably in bed with whoever. Who was it in 1985? Was it Mike Stone? I mean, Mike Edwards? Was it Michael Edwards? Probably. Who knows? I can't remember. But my point is, everything's been turned upside down, and the person that looks bad is Elvis. Oh, Elvis was on drugs. Oh, Elvis was overweight. Oh, Elvis spent all the money. Yeah, you get it? Elvis was the adulterer. When the truth is, Elvis was sick. He needed the medication. Priscilla was the adulterer. The person who took all the money was Priscilla. The world's upside down. All of this is upside down. This is why we are called Defending Elvis Presley. Yeah? So let me just, I'm going to read the rest of this and I'm going to read your comments. Okay, guys? I can't imagine how hurtful that would have been to Elvis, who gave them so much. They're critical of the pay they received, but even bought them homes, cars, motorcycles, and never paid any expenses with him. They got a salary as well. The Memphis Mafia book was coming out and Elvis was getting ready to tour. Can you imagine what his energy level would have been to get up in front of a crowd knowing his Memphis Mafia had spilled their guts in that book? Well said. Well said. We know he was upset. He still forgave Red. In that phone call, he says to Red, if I can help your family, let me know. He was very forgiving. There was no hate. You go and listen to that phone call on YouTube. There is no hate. It is a respectful, friendly conversation, even though Red had massively betrayed him. Red, his best friend at school, at Humes High, the guy who stopped the bullies. Red is obviously, he's passed away. I personally think Red, it ruined his life. I actually believe that Red writing that book ruined his life. I think he carried the pain of that, writing that book till the day he died, which is a shame because I know that Red West had a good side as well. Yeah, so it's a real shame. I actually do think Red loved Elvis. This is the sad part of it, guys. Money and greed make people do stupid things. Money, greed, sex. Those three things cause a lot of damage. Billy was his cousin, and he was there to the very end helping Elvis. It's generous of him to give fans any info. Yes, so we're praising Billy and Joe. Billy doesn't have to do the EFM channel. He does it because he wants the fans to know the truth. I get that. So does Joe and his daughter, Danielle. So it's generous of him to give fans any info. He doesn't have to. He's in his 80s. I believe that he doesn't have to put up with these Elvis sites whose quest is to be the authority on Elvis. The books are not 100% accurate. Billy is willing to share and to alienate himself. He doesn't need it. And that is a fantastic comment, Chris. I defend Elvis because I owe Elvis. Yeah, to me, Elvis saved my life, completely turned my life around. I owe Elvis. That's why I defend. That's why. But anyway, let's try and read some of these comments, guys. So that was a fantastic comment from Chris there. Thank you, Chris. So let me go back a bit. I'm going to read these comments, guys, and I'm going to have to go. But thank you so much for being here. I know a lot of you will watch this later. A lot of you watch the replays. So I hope you had a good night's sleep. Good day to you and all that in America, Australia, Canada, UK, wherever you are around the world. Thank you for joining us at Defending Elvis Presley. And I think we are the premier Defending Elvis channel. I really think that we stand our ground because we get a hard time. I get told off for defending Elvis every day. So does Team Elvis. We get a hard time defending Elvis because many people think he doesn't need defending. Don't agree with you. To the people that think Elvis doesn't need defending, I don't agree with you. Whether you're a channel, a Facebook channel, or a YouTuber, I don't agree with you. He needs defending. And when I say Elvis, I mean Elvis, Lisa, and the bloodline. Yeah, that's Riley, Finley, and Harper as well. Okay. So Elvis, what happened? The book was coming out just before he was ready to tour. He died before the tour. Red and Sonny and Dave had to live with the fact that they turned on him and he died. They sure did. And I think it showed. I've seen quite a few interviews with Red, and he gets very upset and angry if you question him about that book. He doesn't like it. Or he didn't like it. Obviously, he's passed now. Someone told me that Sonny, right at the end of his life, showed regret. Is that true? I don't know. Priscilla became famous as Elvis' ex. Everyone wanted info on Elvis. Everyone was cashing in on him. Any opportunity that she got were because of Elvis. We all agree with that, Chris. We all agree with that. Lily, hi, Lily. It was horrible. The book came out on August the 1st, and Elvis passed away 15 days later. That's what made it worse. Yeah. It definitely made it worse. But could you imagine how gutted they were? They were not expecting that he was going to die so soon after the release of that book. Remember, they did it for money. For money. That is why they wrote that book, not to help him with his prescribed medication. It's bullshit. They were the ones. Sonny West was the one that was taking street drugs, not Elvis. Not Elvis. Let's have a look. Priscilla would be another person walking down the street if she hadn't of absolute no one without Elvis. Come on, guys. Priscilla would have disappeared in 1960 if she hadn't have met Elvis. You would never have heard from her again. We all know this. Elizabeth, Tony, the more I see her on, the worse it gets. Yes. I mean, that interview I played for you with Rona Barrett in 1978 is very tame for Priscilla. That's quite calm. She didn't start getting her claws out until the 80s. Around 1982, you start seeing a different Priscilla that is out for vengeance, that wants to make herself look like a prisoner, a victim, someone who was groomed, controlled, that Elvis was the only one that committed adultery. She doesn't ever admit her own adultery, her own serious misconduct with money grabbing. Do you want to sit on my lap? All right. Come on then. Whoa! Right. There we are.
This is the noise. He likes black and he
really?
and he spells Just from everyone.
Say hello, everyone's looking at you.
Yeah.
This is little Elvis.
I'm not little Elvis. Now I'm not anymore.
All right, okay.
Well,
Let me read the last few comments. So, the fans are now slowly turning against Priscilla. I hope so, Chris. Now, I want to say this. I'm not hateful. I just want to expose the truth. I won't call people names. I want the truth out there. This is what I want on Defending Elvis with Team Elvis. We want the truth out. I'm a Christian man. I'm a God-fearing person. Jesus is in my heart. There's no hate, but we will expose the truth. Okay? Now, you've got to turn that down a bit, please. Right, we're just going to read these last few comments, then we're going to have to go, guys. If you look at the YouTube interviews, look at Red's face when they are talking about Elvis dying after the book was written. Red knows he betrayed E, and saying it was for his own good. I agree. I agree, Chris. I fully agree with that comment. They didn't write the book to help Elvis. They admit it was written out of anger and money and vengeance. Thank you, Linda. Elvis, after paying for the divorce she had him paying to set up an apartment that she was sharing with Mike Stone. I know it's disgusting. The thing that she did with Mike Stone is the most disgusting thing she ever did, because she took Lisa away from her father. It was a very public split up. She was in all the tabloids and magazines, and there were even news clips showing her walking around shopping with Mike Stone, with Lisa, even kissing Mike Stone in public. And these pictures went around the world. Could you even imagine just how humiliating that was for Elvis? If I was Elvis and I went through that, and remember, I'm not a famous person. I'm just a guy at home. You imagine being Elvis Presley, where the whole world is looking at what is happening to your personal life, how your wife, your ex-wife is treating you with your child. So Lisa was forced to live with a stranger in a strange apartment, and that was her new dad. Could you imagine that? And the whole world was watching. Priscilla, that was the most disgusting thing she ever did. Why choose a karate champion? Elvis was into karate. Why choose a karate champion? She chatted Mike Stone up. We've got the interviews on YouTube. She pursued Mike Stone, who was married with Frances Stone, who was pregnant, who also had a 3-year-old girl. Yeah, so when Priscilla chose Mike Stone, she broke up 2 relationships, her own and Frances Stone's, and she took her daughter away from her father, Elvis. She ruined Lisa's life. She ruined Lisa's life. In my opinion, guys, important that there is one insurance policy of Elvis that was never cashed and still isn't today. Lisa said she felt like a trophy when she was with her, or she felt used or not. Someone mentioned this insurance policy. I don't know about it, Chris. You have to give us more information about it. Elvis virtually accepted Red's right in the book, not knowing Red was taping the phone call. Yes, even that is a betrayal, that Red secretly was taping that call. But yes, it proves something about Elvis, because Elvis didn't know it was being recorded. But look how honorable and gentlemanly and kind and friendly Elvis was to Red West on that final phone call. Go and listen to it on YouTube, guys. You'll be very impressed with Elvis. He really shows his true colors. Lily, she sure did. She fancied, yeah, Priscilla got naked for Mike Stone. It wasn't worth it, though, was it? Right, because she dropped him like a rock. Remember, once Priscilla had her way, she dropped Mike Stone like he was nothing. Nothing. And he still hasn't apologized or shown regret. Out of order. Red taped the right phone call. Red made it public. Actions speak louder than words. Yep, Chris, I'm on your side. It's disgusting that that phone call has been taped. Disgusting.
Why on Chris' side?
Yeah, Chris is here. See?
Where?
There, see the nice color there? It's like a light blue.
The light blue.
Yeah, isn't that a nice color? We like the color of your letter, Chris. It's very.
Wait, whose is that one?
Which
light
one?
Blue.
The
light blue.
The light blue. Yeah, that is Chris. Then you got
Chris
that.
again?
Yeah, he's got light blue. And then you got, what colour's that?
Green.
Green is Debbie. And what colour is that one? Is it grey? Grey is Linda. And then Songbird's got a pretty little picture, hasn't she? Of her and her dog Angel. Lily, I know you do. I know you do, but you know, my boy's here. Anyway, guys, we are coming to the end. We've been on an hour and a half. Now, I always say this, I won't be hateful. We do it in a respectful way. We expose the wrongdoing of everyone. And we do it in a respectful way where we don't come across as nasty people. Yeah. But there's a lot of wrongdoing to expose, a lot, from Priscilla mainly and the Memphis Mafia. When Priscilla is gone, see what comes out about her. Every person that she dealt with, I believe she filed an NDA and they can't talk. And when she has gone, the NDAs will be void. I agree. Chris, I agree with that comment. I think you're spot on, mate. You're spot on. Yeah, as Elvis says.
Why are you talking so loud?
As Shauna says. What's the thing? Oh, God, I forgot the saying. Now tell me Shauna's saying. The truth, come on, guys, you tell me. The truth is like the sun. You can shut it out. What's the rest of it? Come on, you guys tell me. The truth is like the sun. You can shut it out. What's the rest? You tell me, guys, then we'll go. Anyway, I'm going to have to go. I think a lot of you are going to watch this on the replay, but I've enjoyed it. We've had a real nice discussion. All of you have been great. Thank you, Chris, for joining in. I love all of your comments. Yes, but it's not going away. You can shut it out, but it's not going away. Thank you, Lily. So, guys, if you want, we can carry on chatting on the Defending Elvis Presley Facebook page. Yeah. Please join it. There's a chat on there. We can all carry on talking. Hi, Lorna. Yeah, we're all tired, aren't we, Denise? Go and get some sleep. I don't think I'm going to be back on today, but who knows? Who knows? I might do. But I am going to post another couple of videos today. I'll make a couple of videos. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, Team Elvis, taking care of business. All of you, I really appreciate it. We come together. I just sit here having a cup of tea, chatting. I can't think of anything better with you guys. And I get to hear the sound of my own voice. And thanks, Linda. I've enjoyed it, guys. I've been very relaxed and chilled out today. I've enjoyed it. Now, Linda, who sent me the books, please join us. We miss you, Linda. We miss you. If I've upset you, I apologize, because if we've disagreed on one of these books, I'm really sorry. Yeah, we miss you, Linda. You're very valuable to us. Yeah, Linda, who sent me the books. Yeah. Anyway, guys, take care. All the best. Love to all of you. All the best.